Waid Harbison here, Chairman of the Cullman County Republican Party. I'm with Scott Stadthagen. He is a candidate for House District 9. Scott, if you will, just start out telling everybody a little bit about yourself.
My name is Scott Stadthagen. I live in Hartselle. My wife, Amy Peck Stadthagen, and together we have a daughter, Collins Ann. I am the president of Hagen Homes, and we attend First Baptist Church in Hartselle. I'm also involved in several civic organizations in our town. I'm the chairman of the Hartselle Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm a member of Kiwanis and Rotary, and also on the Advisory Economic Development Board for Healthcare and Junior League. And when I find time, I try to golf.
When you have a little bit of time in the
That's
spare
right.
time. So tell us a little bit about your background, how it applies to you running for state legislature as far as what qualifies you to do that.
Sure. Being a business owner, I started my company from the ground up in 2005, and through the years, I have met a lot of challenges and had to make a lot of tough decisions with a lot of pressure on me that ultimately affected my family and the people who worked for me, which that is something that cannot be taught in a classroom in college. That development over the years, I think, puts me at a higher level to handle stressful situations, and also my civic organization, being involved with the Chamber of Commerce, different projects around town, working with our state senators, our mayors, and our city councilmen, and going through projects can be difficult, raising money and making sure everything goes right, but it's all rewarding at the ribbon cutting at the end.
Absolutely, yeah. So, assuming you win your race and you're in the state legislature, what would be three main priorities that you talk about? We're going to go into some more detail with some of these questions in a minute, but what would just be three kind of key points or priorities that you really want to work on in your legislative position?
It will be healthcare, education, economic development, infrastructure.
Absolutely, well, that's great. So I know you said education, that's kind of the first one up here, but of course Alabama is not known for our great education system. There's a lot of improvement I think that could be made in the state. So, assuming that you do win your office, what would you do for the education aspect to get Alabama along and further our education system?
Well, our district actually does pretty well in education.
We're fortunate too in Cullman.
That's right.
Absolutely. Schools, great schools.
But we need to focus on our workforce development programs. We need to make sure we've got these industries coming in with Toyota Mazda. Brewer High School's got a very good program, and they're already, they're ahead of the game.
Sure.
I think we need to focus on that. We need to make sure that our teachers and administrators have what they need to be successful and make our communities thrive.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things, of course, that you probably got asked already out on campaign trails you're going around is how do you feel about new taxes? Of course, running as a Republican, a lot of Republicans are not too fond of new taxes, but, assuming there's some kind of a new tax bill or something that comes out there, how would you vote on that?
Well, first off, I'm a fiscally conservative Republican. Looking at new tax bills, initially I'm against them. I think we need to look over at every aspect of the budget and see where we're at. If something is something we can't do nothing about, I think the people of our district need to vote on it. I think we need to educate them on the situation and let their voice be heard on it.
Absolutely. Another key issue that's kind of going on right now is the state legislative session kind of wraps up right now is the prison system. Obviously, with the overcrowding, there's a lot of issues with that going on. The federal government might have to come in and take over the prison system. What are some of your thoughts that the state legislature or the state legislature as a whole can do to make that system work better and the prison system work better?
I think our prison system is, I think we're looking at it backwards. I think we have 40% of our inmates that have a mental illness. I think we're behind the game on that. I think when the state cut budgets years ago for our mental health, I think we're catching up. We're seeing the results of it right now. We need to address our mental health. We also need to grab a hold of our drug addiction in our area. It's at an all-time high. We need additional programs. I talked to Matt Gentry, and he said they have 33 programs in their system now, but we need to look and getting them more funding for that. Mental health in itself, it needs to be addressed at all by itself.
Sure.
We need to do something about that right now.
Absolutely. Huge topic on that one. One thing I think the state is doing really well right now is job growth and development, bringing a lot of industry into the state. Right now, Cullman, the most recent numbers I saw, Cullman County's unemployment rate was at 2.3%. So really good numbers right now. So what do you think that the legislature needs to do to kind of keep that momentum going, keep the unemployment rates down, keep bringing all these industries into Alabama?
Yes, I actually sit on several boards talking about this. We need to keep that workforce going with the programs in our school systems. We need to make sure that's a huge incentive for a company looking at our state, knowing that we're training these kids as soon as they get out of high school and they're ready. As of right now in our community right now, if you were a machinist, you could have a job tomorrow paying really good.
Right.
So these high school kids, once they're trained to be a machinist, they can get out of high school making $60,000 plus with benefits, and
Right.
they still live in our area.
Right.
So we need to capitalize on that. We also need to capitalize on the Toyota Mazda plant that's coming in. There's going to be second tier companies running off of that. We need to make sure those tiers are in our district. We need to make sure when they're making those brake pads, that brake pad's being made in our district, and that's what I'm going to fight for.
Absolutely. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add before we kind of wrap up here?
Yes, through my involvement in our community, I've seen firsthand what it takes and what we need, and I plan on being present. I plan on being present in our district and in Montgomery. My company is in our district. I will be in our district day in and day out, and I would appreciate your vote June 5th.
Absolutely. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it. Good luck on the campaign trail.
Thank you.
Thank you.